Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This video is a part 2 video. So if you're watching, it is the follow-up video for Genesis 3:15. And the reason I broke this up into 2 videos is because the first one is a little longer than I like to make for my Smashing Strawman videos. So I said, I'll go ahead and break this up into 2 videos because I know I'm going to get lots of comments. People are going to be curious about what I'm saying, and so I'll go ahead and break it up into 2 separate videos. Then along came a person who disagreed with me, made a rebuttal video to my first video, and so I said, perfect, I'll add that in there, and killed 2 birds with 1 stone, as the saying goes. So stay tuned, because in this video, you will hear me exhaust just about any and all theological disagreements a person could have with what I previously said, okay? I'm going to discuss the multiple different possibilities, right? I'm going to discuss the theological differences, the semantics, and things like that. And then I'm done. And then I'm moving on. So that'll be all of the discussion on Genesis 3:15, because I can't hang around on this video forever, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So here you see Rabbinic Jesus commenting. He has since changed his name to Pharisee. Not sure what that means, but if you go looking for his channel, it's now called Pharisee. Thought you should know.
And then it became this really long comment thread, so I felt the need to make this video. I feel it's necessary to address some things that were said here. So this is what I said. I disagree. There is no Satan in Genesis 3:15. Rather, the serpent there is, well, a serpent. There's no mention of demons or supernatural beings, and no punishment pronounced on them. No, okay. So that's a very simple statement. Now she was accusing me of being biased for what's the word for it? She's under the impression that I'm saying that it's wrong to believe in demons, but it's okay to believe in a talking serpent. Well, here's the thing about that. I'm not against the idea of demons. I'm not arguing for or against that idea in my comment.
Well, I mean, it kind of sounds like that's what you're saying, Thomas. I mean, you're saying that the Peshat level does not indicate demons or angels or anything like that. And I think that's pretty much what you're saying, regardless of whether you agree with that or not. You're saying that it doesn't indicate that. And I'm going to show that to be an error here in just a minute.
And it doesn't really matter to me whether one believes in that or not. And I would go as far as to say I think the counter-missionary people are being dishonest when they attack the idea from a Jewish point of view, because rabbinical literature very clearly teaches this idea. You can go to the Talmud, you can go to the Zohar and the Kabbalistic works. Demons are all over rabbinical literature. So this idea that it's heretical or dualistic or idolatrous, unless you're going to throw all those people under the bus, I don't think you can really say that as a rabbinic Jew. Maybe as a Karaite you could say that, but as a rabbinical Jew, you can't say that. Now you don't have to believe in that. I'm not saying you have to believe in that as a Jew, but I'm saying you shouldn't throw people under the bus who do believe in that idea. That idea I don't think is dualistic or heretical or idolatrous. So she misunderstands me. I'm not saying that Satan is ridiculous and a talking snake or talking serpent or whatever that animal is not ridiculous. I'm just simply saying that if you read it contextually, if you read it in its context, in its literary context, right? If you read the book of Genesis in its literary context, there's nothing there to indicate a demonology of sorts.
Well, I'm glad that you can admit that anti-missionaries are being dishonest here. I mean, it's pretty obvious, especially considering all the stuff that they believe about demons and angels, etc., so on and so forth.
Now, maybe certain books you could get a demonology from, but there's no indication from Genesis itself, from the book of Genesis itself, that that the serpent is Satan. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm arguing. I'm not arguing anything else. She also claimed I was trying to undermine the New Testament. I'm not trying to undermine the New Testament.
So I'm not really sure where in this thread that you ended up needing to make a rebuttal video to. I have somehow said that you were undermining the New Testament. But I do, in fact, think that you have, in the past, tried to undermine the New Testament Because on Asher Meza's show, you made the statement that even the New Testament doesn't say that there was a virgin birth. Absolutely, 100%, fundamentally, the New Testament does say that Yeshua was born from a virgin. Absolutely. And we can debate this topic. I think we're maybe going to do that. I'm not sure at this point yet, but absolutely, I do feel like in that regard, you have undermined the New Testament or tried to, but I never said in the thread that you did. So not really sure what the beef is. The point that I was making is that people say, no, it's just a snake talking. It's just a snake. Okay, Courtney? And then I say, well, you have a problem with the thought of a demon or an angel, but you're okay with the thought of animals like a snake talking. Now, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because we find in the Tanakh, a donkey can talk. We find that is the case, but there's often something very unique going on when that is happening, okay? So when I bring that forward, someone then has to say, oh, no. I don't have a problem with animals talking. I have a problem with you thinking that it's an angel or a demon that is being represented in the text by a, quote, serpent. And that's what I'm going to prove right now. All right, guys. So I'm about to blow the excuse that this is just an animal out of the water. Okay, the word enmity is only used 5 times in this form in the Tanakh, and every single time it is enmity between humans. That is human to human interaction. Now, there is this one unique case of it in its root form used in Exodus 23, verse 22, where the Lord clearly says he is going to send an angel before the people, right? And he says that he, i.e. the Lord, will be an enemy to, have enmity towards those who oppose you, i.e. his people. So here we have spiritual being, God, with humans, enmity, and we have humans to humans, enmity. We never have humans to animal enmity, and that's that.
And in a message she sent me, she claimed I was afraid, that I believe she was afraid to debate me. I don't necessarily think she's afraid to debate me. I just simply thought she was being inconsistent. I thought, she's so eager to debate this inescapable reality guy. But by the way, you guys should check out Inescapable Reality. I will post a link to his channel in the description. I like his content a lot. We are friends, but I don't think she's necessarily afraid to debate me, but I think she's being inconsistent. Why debate this guy and not me?
Okay, so the backstory here, I was so, quote, eager to debate Inescapable Reality guy. One, the dude keeps coming to my channel. He trolls my channel. Let's just debate. Second, he made rebuttal videos to me. I went to his channel. I checked him out. I was like, let's just debate. So the guy says he can't debate, his circumstances won't allow it, whatever, fine. Moving on, that was a few months ago. Then Thomas comes along while I'm in the hospital with my son, who's 5 years old, who just had his 5th heart surgery and 6th time opening up his sternum. Children's Hospital, right here, guys, on my shirt. Spent many nights there. I was there for over a month whenever Thomas messaged me and was like, yo, let's debate. I'm like, not anytime soon. That doesn't mean that I'm running from you at all. Not even a little bit. I even told you my circumstances, and you still never corrected that information to your peeps so that they would know that I'm not scared to debate you. I will debate you anytime. No big deal. Just needs to be on a Sunday, and I need 2 weeks notice. So that's that. Pause to read this, but clearly you can see I'm telling him I'm in the hospital, and he still chose to make his video saying that I didn't want to debate him. Weird. So, of course, I then responded saying, what's up with that? Why are you out there telling folks that I don't want to debate you? You need to tell them the whole story. So all of this is because of the way I responded, which was a quote from Justin Jackson, professor at Hillsdale College, when I said, and I quote, so the fun things with the serpent is, how does the serpent talk? And not only that, but why is the punishment for the serpent to crawl on its belly when that's what it does? In other words, it points out the fallacy of believing it's just an animal.
And again, and I would just reiterate, I'm not attacking the New Testament per se, and I'm not attacking the idea of demonology. I'm attacking the idea that the serpent in the book of Genesis is Satan. That is what I'm attacking. I just don't see it. You know, I'm not saying that Satan is an illegitimate idea. There's been many Jews who've believed in demons and believed in Satan. But I'm simply saying that you can't get that from just a contextual, literal reading of the book. Okay, people might say, well, you're being too literal. I'm just looking at the literary context.
So looking over everything, how do you prove, okay, that this is indeed an angel and not just like a serpent, a snake, or whatever? Okay, so besides the fact that literally all 5 times that this word is used, it's used of interaction between humans and human, okay, or a spirit like God with humans. There it is. So that's Exodus 23:22. If you look, God says, I'm going to send my angel before you, which is a concept of shiliach, by the way, which also shows us that in the other passages in Tanakh where God himself sends an angel and the angel wrestles with someone, Jacob, and the text literally says that it's God, or it doesn't say the name, but it says Elohim. This also proves to us that angels take the form of humans. Like, they're not flying around with little wispy wings, okay? They take the form of humans. This is why the New Testament tells us, be careful, for you may have entertained angels unaware. And so I think it's very important to note this fact because words mean something, okay? Words mean things, and the way that we would have understood this, knowing that all other times it's used of human to human interaction, enmity, or God himself interacting with humans. It's not animals stomping on the heads of snakes. It's just not. And just a second look for anyone that wants to look it up, it's Hebrew word 342. And from there, you can find the root word as well.
And I would also say that the idea that it's the evil inclination, I think that's also wrong too. I don't think either of those ideas, either a Satan or a demon, or the evil inclination, is something you can get from that book. So, I mean, I'm still willing to debate. She said she could do Sunday, maybe this Sunday or the next Sunday, depending on what my schedule is like, because my schedule has been really crazy. So, Thomas Christensen, Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Have a good morning.
Okay, so now I want to discuss the grammar of the Septuagint for Genesis 3:15. Now, typically, I stay away from the Septuagint just because most of the stuff I do is countering Tovia Singer, and I'm going to use his own text to do it. So there's that. I try and stay away from the Targums as well. It's just a personal thing of mine. I have no problem with people liking the Targums. I just prefer to stick with just what the Hebrew text says and move forward. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but in Genesis 3:15, there is some unique stuff going on with the grammar. So the grammar indicates that this child that's going to be born in Genesis 3:15, right, that it's discussing, is going to be one male child, one single male, not female, male child. And reason why is they broke the rules of grammar. I mean, it just makes no sense if you look at how they follow the grammar throughout, except for in this one spot. And it would make sense if you know that this child that is going to be born is projected to be born way off into the future. It's kind of like Isaiah 7. Some information on the Septuagint's use, and I'll link that below as well for you guys. Now, very quickly, Jeremiah 31 verse 22. How long will you wonder, unfaithful daughter Israel? The Lord will create a new thing on earth. Okay? The Lord will create a new thing on earth. The woman will encompass a man, or the man. Okay, now this is way different in many different translations. This is something that's a bit obscure. No one really knows how to translate this. But I would submit, as I often do on this channel, let's look at the context if we don't really know what's going on with the verse. So Jeremiah 31 is that famous chapter that's all about the new covenant, okay? It discusses what God's going to do, what Israel did, and because of what Israel did, God's going to do this. And ultimately, God's going to bring about this amazing new thing, something that has never been done before, right? Okay. So I'm going to submit to you that Jeremiah 31 verse 22 is discussing the virgin birth. Why? Why would that be about Jeremiah 31's new covenant? Well, because if it comes from a virgin birth, then it is something new. The Lord, women have encompassed men all the time, right? We are the womb that bears the child, okay? But if it's something new, i.e. a virgin birth, then this is something new that ultimately brings about the final redemption of the world through the resurrection, through the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach. So, as you can see, there's not really one particular way to translate it, but the one thing that we know for sure is a woman surrounds or encompasses a man. Now, I'll put some scholarly data in the description box. What is interesting about this is the word bara, to create. This is typically more times than not only ever used of the Lord. Now, I don't know exactly how many times, like right now off the top of my head. I will throw a slide up really fast for you. But the interesting thing is the vast majority of the times it's used, it is the Lord saying that he's going to create something. Like this is creation from nothing, like nothing. This isn't like growing a plant from a seed where you already have the genetic makeup. This is literally creating something from nothing. Now, the interpretations are that a woman's going to return to a man. Well, that's not really new, okay? So if a woman returns to a man, that's really not a big deal. If a woman protects a man, Deborah, not a big deal. Deborah did that. You can find that in Judges. That's, like I said, not new. A woman having a baby, that's definitely not a, quote, new thing that the Lord would, quote, create, okay? So what would be new would be a virgin birth that brings forth the new covenant, Jeremiah 31, and that's why it's in that chapter, in my humble opinion. So it's used 54 times, which is not an entirely large amount of times, but as you can see, it's mostly used of God. Considering the fact that we have the enmity being between humans and humans, or God, a divine being, and humans, considering the fact that we have the Septuagint breaking its rules of grammar, according to scholars, this is something pretty unique. Considering the fact that we have the Hebrew language itself, only one time throughout the entire Tanakh where plethora of men were told that their wives would have children, it's never again used in the feminine as it is in Genesis 3:15 when it's her seed, meaning the fact that a woman would have a child without the need of a man, okay? And considering the fact that the prophet Jeremiah gives us a very unique inside look, now this is highly debated, but a very unique inside look of a woman encompassing a man in Jeremiah 31. So considering all of this and the plethora of information that we have in the Tanakh about this figure as you migrate your way from the Torah all the way into writings and prophets or prophets and writings, and then into the New Testament, you're standing there left with no other option than to see that this is Yeshua HaMashiach. So until next time, guys, stay blessed.